Welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. This time we're going to take a look at my Bloodied Guerrilla and Gunslinger builds, which is pretty much interchangeable. And this is actually a previous character that I used in my Charisma Medic builds. I believe I said in that video that I was planning on respecking her. It's been a while since I made it. This is that respec. I decided to do something different. I did have some pretty decent pistols that I wanted to try out, and I decided to make a pistol character. So let's take a look at her effects. Let's start with well-fed, well-hydrated. I always use that perk every character, so it's always going to be there. We got Adrenal Reaction, give us additional damage for lower our health is, which is always good for a bloodied build, and we're going to be using, almost any character is going to use that regardless. We got Bird Bones to reduce fall speed and give us extra agility. Agility is good. We are going to use a lot of action points on this build. We use a lot of VATs. Carnivore I have on here. It's not necessary. It's something I did a long time ago for a different thing I was doing. I just never took it off. It's fine. I pretty much only use meat anyway because I don't want to grow anything, and there's plenty of animals to kill and cook. Eagle Eyes gives me perception and extra critical damage, very important. I really do like it. Marsupial gives me the jump height, which is very important. And Speed Demon gives me the faster reload speed and the faster movement speed. As with all the others, pretty standard. The only one that is out of the ordinary as my other ones is the Eagle Eyes. Let's take a look at my weapons. Starting with this one, anti-armor 10 mil. Most of the time I am using a 10mm pistol. Almost exclusively I'm using a 10mm pistol. This is one build I almost never use explosives with. Mainly because I do not have a bloody explosive. All I have is a regular bloodied 10mm pistol. I have rolled probably tens of thousands of weapons, and I've never got lucky enough to get a bloody explosive 10mm pistol. I'm looking for one. I'd like to have one just because it's, I believe, the only explosive pistol type that is good that I do not have. But this one is still pretty good. It gives me the faster fire rate, the increased damage because it's bloodied, and the movement speed while aiming is really just pointless. We put a stinging mag on this to give us a little bit of armor penetration since pistols don't really have great armor penetration. You kind of need that stinging mag. Unlike the rifle build that I did, the bloodied assault rifle and single shot rifle build, rifles have a built-in card that allows them to have armor penetration, whereas pistols do not. So really need to focus on the mag. This is another one I use sometimes. This is more for my gunslinger, but bloodied, suppressed, and extra VATS chance. I like the VATS chance on it, and also I like the ability to crit with it more because it fills my VATS meter quickly. This one is also very good because 45 is, it seems like an ammo that is always laying around. I just pulled it out to show it. I'm not planning on actually using it, but it's a very common ammo. So if you want to save on your good ammo, which 10mm is pretty plentiful too, and nothing really uses it, you know, this gives you an opportunity to do so. And that is all the weapons I pulled out. I might show off some more. I have some more in my box, but let's move on to our armor. Same unyielding. Oh, one of my pieces is broken. Fix that. Oh, I'm out of improved kits. That's why I didn't fix that. Okay. Anyway, so we have our unyielding. We have some marine armor all the way down. Just basically, it was just sets that I picked up out of vending machines or off of Reddit. That I liked. Some of these I farmed, some that I've just finished sets of. But unyielding, all it matters is that it's 1 star and you're happy with the armor type that it is, either Marine, Combat, or Secret Service. I have not got lucky enough to make any good Secret Service armors for her yet, but I have made a... Oh my god, it didn't come out. Alright, let me grab it. I guess I will show a couple guns in here that I do have while I'm in here, since it didn't pick it up. This was the gun that I was trying to get. The Bloody Suppressed Gauss pistol. It's a new pistol that was added with Wastelanders. It's very good. The 2mm ammo is not difficult to make. This is the mods that you see on the right are the mods that you would want to have for it. It's very good. The only problem with it is that in VAT sometimes it can get a little iffy. The roll that I got is not exactly what I want, but it's the only bloody one I was able to roll that was more than a 1 star, so I kept it. And we're going to use it a little bit in this video. Alright, I will be right back and I'll show off some cards. And here we are looking at our cards. So let's start, as we usually do, on strength. Bandolier, that's the only thing I put 2 strength in for, is just to get Bandolier. We've got to make our ammo way less. With the new Gauss pistol, ballistic doesn't affect the 2mm. It's considered energy ammo, so it kind of hurts it a little bit. But Bandolier is still good because most of the time I'm either using a 45, a 44, or a 10 mil, all of which the Bandolier does decrease the weight of. Next we have Crack Shot. Crack Shot gives me additional range, 30% range, and better accuracy while aiming down sights. I don't aim down sights a ton, but it does help a little bit. I noticed that it helps in VATS. Maybe it doesn't. If somebody knows that it does not, please correct me. I felt a significance in my accuracy whenever I use or better range in my numbers whenever I use VATS with Crack Shot on. I do like it, and I just keep it on. I want to have a decent amount of perception, not a max amount of perception, but a decent amount, just because VATS accuracy for your gun is based on your perception. I have some perception that comes from my armor, but I still need a little bit more to make sure I'm hitting a majority of my shots. That's basically why I'm at the 9. And actually, I could probably move some points around, even if I wanted to. But the thing is, there's just really nothing I want to move them to with this build. So we're going to stick with where they are. Concentrated fire is really good. Lets us target limbs, mainly for headshots, because that's what we need. Our guns do not have a very high damage threshold. Not anywhere close to like a rifle, but if we hit him in the head, the crit damage from a headshot usually kills them in 1 or 2 bullets. So concentrated fire, every time we miss, it gives us, I believe it's a 10 or 20% chance to hit our next shot. So if we miss, we just keep getting a higher chance until we just start hitting. I really like it. It's really helpful for pistols and rifles the same. For this one, I definitely recommend running 3-star, whereas you could run 1-star with the rifles, but I recommend 3-star here. Next is Glow Sight. It's kind of a placeholder. Again, I didn't really have anything to do with any more of my special stats, so I went with generic Glow Sight. You run into quite a few glowing enemies if you're doing the higher level places, which is where I usually am with most of my characters. So I went ahead and just threw it on there. Next is Radical. I put it on there just for the carry weight. This, you can take it off and run 2 Rejuvenated if you want to. But since I have low health, since I have radiation on me, I figure what the hell, I might as well have a little extra carry weight, which I do use quite often. Again, Rejuvenated, very good. You can run 2-star of it, and you get the additional bonus of Well-Fed, Well-Rested, which I showed off in the beginning. Lone Wanderer, it's pretty much a staple. If you are playing alone, you take less damage, you get AP Regen. AP Regen is really important for this build because we are going to be using a lot of VATS. You'll see in the gameplay, we are all about that VATS. A card that I use on this one because I have the extra charisma, again, I had some points I could play around with, is Tenderizer for 5 seconds. More damage for, makes my target receive 5% more damage for 5 seconds, which is pretty good. I do like it. It's mainly for stuff like bats that is going to take many bullets to kill, and not so much super mutants, which are going to be watching me kill. So it's not going to be really showcased in what I'm doing here, but I really do like Tenderizer. If you're playing with teammates, I would recommend, however much charisma you have, make a slot for at least a 1-star of Tenderizer, especially if you're fighting stuff like the Queen, because she spawns Death Claws, Mirelurk Queens, stuff like that. Tenderizer's gonna give you a little bit of extra help in killing those things that much more quickly. Next is Nerd Rage. Nerd Rage, again, is a staple for bloody builds. Gives us extra damage resistance, gives us more damage, and it gives us AP regen. We really need the damage, and we really need the AP regen with this build. Again, pistols do not have a huge damage number, so we really do lean on getting our extra damage from anywhere that we can get it. And the AP regen, again, we use a lot of AP because we are constantly using VATs, so AP regenerate, very important. Really do like this card. Next is Gunsmith. Pistols have a very small health bar. They will break quickly because they don't really have a choice. Their bar is so small, you can probably run through, I'd say somewhere in the range of about 50 clips, they'll start breaking. So I do run stuff like Gunsmith to try to get the most life I can out of my pistols and my pipe guns. My pipe guns have a different card, but I try to get the most life that I possibly can out of them by using Gunsmith. It makes them break a little bit slower. And as you can see, agility is pretty loaded. I used every single one, and I've went through and changed these multiple times trying to find exactly what I want, and this is what I came up with. So let's start at the top. Covert Operative. This is the one that gives damage for ranged weapons, whereas Ninja was for the melee. So this will give us a 2.3 modifier. I tried very hard to get to the 2.5. I thought about cutting one of the Guerrilla cards down to, instead of running 333, run 332, just to get that extra. I didn't really test it to see if the 0.2 damage that we get from our sneak attack makes up for the loss of 5% damage that we get. But I kill stuff fairly quickly currently, so I'm not going to play around with it too much, but that could be an option if you want to get the 3 Covert Operative. Maybe try to find something you can cut out. And I do have an option for that I'll talk about maybe, but I really like the card, so I don't cut it out. Next is Guerrilla. We got Guerrilla. Each one gives 20%. You got your regular Guerrilla, your Expert Guerrilla, your Master Guerrilla. Each one's 20% automatic pistol damage. If you are going for a Gunslinger build, you just put these same on there, except they're Gunslingers. Give you that full 60% extra pistol damage, and that's what we need. We need all the damage that we can get. Sneak, I run one card of it. I tried to run none, but I do get detected. I don't know why, but I need the one. The one really does seem to make the difference. So I stick with the one, and sometimes I do get detected, but it's not enough to go up to 2, and I really couldn't see moving my numbers around to try to make 2 work. Next is Escape Artist. Escape Artist, I talked about this earlier in one of my earlier videos. Sneak to lose enemies, and running longer affects stealth. It's very nice. You're able to run around and then crouch and continue doing your thing. You don't have to just skulk around if you don't want to. Running doesn't really hurt you. So Escape Artist is a very effective and very useful tool if you're doing any stealth build. I recommend it. It's only 1 star, only 1 card. You don't have to make a bunch of changes to make it work. I definitely recommend having it in any stealth build you plan on making. Next is Gun Fu. This is the one that you can possibly cut to get that extra Covert Operative damage. I like it because it will auto swap for you, and it gives you additional damage each time that it swaps. And this does couple with another card that I'm going to talk about. So this is very helpful for when you have multiple things coming at you. You can kill a thing, it'll auto switch to the next one, kill that thing, auto switch to another, kill that thing, and each time you're getting more and more damage. Gun Fu is really helpful. I really like it. I can't bring myself to cut it, but if you do not like it, you can cut this and add 1 more to Covert Operative to have the 3-card Covert Operative, get that extra 0.2 sneak damage. And last is Adrenaline. This is the only one that I don't have 5-star Adrenaline on because I just can't. The Guerrilla cards take up 9 slots of our 16 agility, or our 15 agility, sorry. So that only leaves us 6 to work with. As you can see, I have a 1-star, a 2-star, and a 5-star. I've tried to bounce around numbers all over the place to make things work. I do the 1-star just to get that little bit of extra damage. but I cannot make anything higher really work and feel good about it. Bloody Mess, pretty standard, extra 15% damage, and things blow up into red paste. That doesn't really matter much, but the extra damage is great for pistols. Grim Reaper Sprint. This is the card I was going to talk about that goes really good with Gun Fu. So Gun Fu allows you to move targets after you kill your first one, and this one gives you the ability, if you kill something in battle, you have a 35% chance of restoring your action points. So it's very possible that you can VATS kill something, VATS kill something. Grim Reaper Sprint activates, refills your action bars, your action points bar. VATS, and then it keeps switching, killing, and then every time you kill something in your VATS with your Gun Fu, you have another chance of activating your Grim Reaper Sprint to again fill your bar. I really like this card. I think it's great, and I used it 3-star all the time on this character as well as my rifle character. It's very, very important to me. I think it's a staple card if you're planning on using a lot of VATS. Any build that you do, if you're planning on using VATS, this is really nice to have. Serendipity is our survival card. Again, gives us a chance to... We're always below 30%, and we want to avoid that damage. So 45% chance is a really good chance of getting neglected on damage. We want it. That's what we want to be. And we're really squishy, so kind of need it. Luck of the Draw. Again, you'll see it. I have this kind of set up for farming since I'm not planning on fighting a queen on this video. Luck of the Draw is just to keep my gun from breaking on me. You can switch this with better criticals. Better criticals is very good, gives you additional critical damage, something that you can definitely use while you're fighting with your pistol character. Or Critical Savvy, well, the 3-star one, lets you use less of your critical meter. So either one of these are a replacement for it. Critical Savvy, I'd probably say, is slightly over better criticals, just because it just allows you to spam your criticals, which is going to kill things much faster. It's probably going to out DPS the other. So I recommend running this for farming, but if you're doing a queen fight, I would probably cut Luck of the Draw and Bloody Mess and put on better criticals and Critical Savvy for that, because you're going to be trying to crit her as much as possible, and you want to make sure you're getting that damage in. Your damage is not very good on the queen, and it's a really tough, long fight for a pistol character. Class Freak, I only have the 1-star of it. I just want to get rid of them negative effects. There's a lot of negative effects that I do not want to have, mainly the strength ones that hurt a lot. I'm only a 2-strength character. It really affects my carry weight, so I want to make sure that I have as much carry weight as possible. And again, I didn't really have a whole lot to do with my points. I could have put some extra ones into Charisma. I could have put some extra ones into Intelligence, but I just kind of went with what I did. If you wanted to make some changes to this build, you can possibly move 1 Luck to Intelligence, 1 Charisma to Intelligence, and maybe 3 or 4 Perception to Intelligence, and then run 5, move a total of 5 points, and you can put on Demolition Expert, so you can use pistol explosives, and that's about the only thing that I would do. But since I don't really use explosive pistols very often, I just didn't do it. My Bloodied Pistol is the one that I use. Maybe if I get a Bloodied explosive 10mm pistol, I might make that change. But for now, I'm content with what I do. And the last card, of course, is Starch Genes. You always want it. You always want to have it. Keep your mutations. Don't add to them and get bad ones. You want to keep them exactly what you wanted to learn. Never lose the ones you wanted to learn, and never learn any of the really, really bad ones. So Starch Genes, have it. Keep it on all your characters all the time. It's really good. All right, let's go do some gameplay, and I'll show off the pistol character. All right, here we are at West Tech, the Super Mutant Senior Center, and we are going to be showing off the 10mm pistol. We're going to just kick into VATS. That was an auto-VATting, if you saw that move. It just auto-moved over with my Gun Fu, which is really nice. Keeps me from hitting extra buttons. Ooh. these are little dudes. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's okay. So I'm just kind of... It would be the same effect whether they were level 68 or whether they were level 5 and 10. As you can see, we're doing lots of damage to them. Let's move to the back. And when I go inside, I did go ahead and bring some Gunslinger weapons. I'll try a couple of those out on the inside just to kind of let everybody see them. The main drawback of the Gunslingers, the single action, is there's not many that have suppressors, which is really unfortunate because suppressors makes it where we can stay stealth, which is, you know, the point of our build. There's a 3-star, and it's really unfortunate when, you know, we can't do the work we want to do. Nocturnal something bad? Oh, nocturnal explosive. Okay, well, that's a thing. Now, if I ever want to have a gunfight at night, we can do that. All right, I'm gonna change some cards around, go in, and fight some team mutants on the inside. All right, now we're on the inside. I'm gonna show off the gun that I'm using. This is a quad single-action revolver, quad explosive, faster fire rate. So instead of the normal 6-shooter, this is a 24 shooter. It takes forever to reload, and it also does have a suppressor. It's going to be a little iffy, but that's one of the guns. The other I already showed off. It is the Bloody Suppressed pipe rifle, pipe revolver. Sorry. This one does not have anything special like that, but it also doesn't take near as long to load, and it has better damage because it's bloody, whereas the other one's not. So let's give it a shot here. If you see me reloading constantly, it's because of how long it takes to reload this thing. I'm going to keep it on constant reload, basically. And this is without the damage card for explosive damage. So, as you can see, it does pretty good. We're still in hidden because super mutants are stupid, and somehow they don't detect me when I'm just walking around with a 20-round revolver. Not complaining, but, you know, it is what it is. It's pretty good. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. It's a pretty good weapon. It's just... sometimes you get that, where I was one-tapping everything, and then suddenly take 3 bullets. We do have a crit. Whoop. Back up here. Let's switch to our suppressed one. This one, as you can tell, is much quieter. And to add 3 bullets, it takes much less time. That is my big beef with the 44. He has no idea where I am. He just started shooting at where he thought I was. And again, this is a pipe pistol. It's still doing very reasonable damage. It doesn't matter if it's a pipe rifle or pipe pistol, pipe rifle. They still do very reasonable damage. I don't know how I missed him. He was on my screen. Oh. Just started panic spraying and got me. Sometimes they do that. They'll just start shooting in your general direction where they believe you are, and they will get some damage done you. One I was trying to bash, but sure. Where are you? And you can see how tight the ADS is in third person. Well, even though I didn't hit that one. And as you can see, the reloading is much faster. Still, even though it's a pipe revolver, we're still just one-tapping everything. 944 body shot from the hip, like a boss. the lack of adrenaline is not holding us back at all. That one star, not a huge deal, but as you can see, you know, we're going through just fine. Whether it's Gunslinger or whether it is Guerrilla, it's still a reasonable option. Pistols are fun. I like that they added the Gauss pistol. I hope that they continue to add more interesting pistols in the future. There's a lot from Fallout New Vegas I would love to see. The 9mm, for one. I would love to see a 9mm and then bring back some of the skins from New Vegas for that. I'm really interested to just see what they do. They really need to step up some energy weapons. The plasma pistol and the laser rifle. They're all not very good. They need to be increased in damage and decrease the amount of time or amount of damage they do to themselves and how quickly they break. They still break extremely quickly. But anyway, that's it. You kind of got a glimpse of the pistol character. If you like it, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I do have Twitter. You can send me a message on Twitter, Blue Phoenix Games, just like the name that you're watching this video on. And thanks for watching, guys. I also do live stream. I do have a little thing I'm throwing on the end here. I'm trying out. Feel free to watch me live streaming. I usually do it every day, right around 6 p.m. Central Time, which is about the time it is right now when I'm recording. But I really am trying to grow a channel, and this is my shot at trying out making some videos. I'm hoping they're not terrible. I'm trying to be as informative as I can. I know 76 doesn't have a whole lot of build videos out there, and I wanted to kind of show off mine because the ones that I've seen, that whenever I was looking to level my 5th slot, I'm looking to get some inspiration on what I would like to do that I haven't thought of, I couldn't find anything. So I thought maybe it's time to put out some videos so people have options for builds. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Thank you very much for checking out the video, and if you would like to see more, please find me streaming most days at 6 p.m. Central Time on Twitch and on YouTube, or you can give me a follow on Twitter. I really do appreciate everyone, and I hope to see you all real soon.